We were talking about this yesterday, right before we were leaving the studio, not on air. And this is our next story about Cain Velasquez. Former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez was formally charged Wednesday with attempted premeditated murder and multiple gun assault charges in relation to a shooting Monday night in San Jose, California, according to Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office. Velasquez, 39, is accused of targeting Harry Eugene Galarte, who is charged with allegedly molesting one of Velasquez's young relatives. So we heard about the attempted murder right when we were getting off here and then leaving, and you thought, all right, it's a UFC fighter. CTE, those stories were thrown around a lot. And then late last night, it broke that he was actually trying to murder somebody who had molested one of his relatives over 100 times. And he pulled up next to him. There was the guy was in the car, and his stepfather was in the car, and he opened fire and was not going to stop. He faces 10 counts that could carry more than 20 years of jail time if he is convicted, according to the DA's office. Velasquez was following Galarte's truck in his own vehicle during an 11-mile high-speed chase through San Jose. He rammed the truck and then fired a .40 cal handgun multiple times into the truck, which carried Galarte and two older relatives. Galarte's 63-year-old stepfather, Paul Bender, was struck once in his arm and torso, but is expected to survive. This is a tough story, man, because I don't know anybody who wouldn't do this. And, you know, Free Cain, hashtag Free Cain has been going all over the internet today, everywhere you see it. And even Dana White, I think, had made a statement. A
couple of people have.
Yeah. This one's super fucked up, and this is something we've talked about on the show for years and years and years. If you were molesting a child, you deserve to die. I hope nothing happens to him, but the reality is something will. And the more fucked up part of this story is the guy who molested this child was released on bond. And Velasquez is in fucking prison right now.
Yeah. So there's a number of things that the press isn't really reporting so far, at least nowhere that I've seen. One of the tidbits is that Galarte, the child rapist, as we'll refer to him as a child rapist moving forward, lived with his mom. He's 43, lived with his mom. His mom ran a daycare. Oof. And he lived at the daycare.
I have not read that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So who knows how many children that woman has allowed her son to rape. Now, I don't know what involvement or knowledge the stepdad, whatever the fuck his name is, Paul Bender, I don't know what he had to do with any of this shit. But one of my family members, like if I'm dating a woman and her fucking adult son gets charged with raping children, not picking him up from the fucking police station.
No.
Not that, Paul Bender should have been shot or anything like that. But this is a time to kill, right? Samuel L. Jackson's daughter gets raped by rednecks. He goes to shoot them and but also shoots Chris Cooper's character. I don't remember what.
Yeah, he blew his leg off.
Like a cop, Deputy Looney or some shit. Yep. This is like you're seeing it play out in front of your eyes right now. Very bizarre that it happened that way.
Very bizarre that it's Cain Velasquez.
I mean, not really. Like I'm not sure if because it's a minor, they can't identify who it is unless Cain did it himself or the parents of the child, whomever it is. But I'm told it's his child, right?
That's what I've read, but it keeps referring to it as relative. And
yeah, because they can't identify exactly who it is. It's illegal.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay.
It's illegal to identify the person exactly in the press. If they said his child, that would be
Got it. If it is his child, I would not have stopped shooting at that point. And I think he tried to reload, is what I heard.
Well, I don't think so. He had two 10-round magazines when the police pulled him over because he left the scene. And had shot 8 times. I believe there's 2 rounds left in one of the 10-round magazines.
Okay.
He had 2 10-round magazines. That's what I said.
So Ronda Rousey came out and said she would have done the same or worse. Dana White's exact statement was, I obviously feel sorry for him and his family. It's a horrible thing. I don't know enough details to speak on it, but from what I've heard, we all say we would do it if it ever happened to us. Cain actually did it. There's not a world that I can imagine if that happened to one of my children, me not doing the same fucking thing. Like, I don't even know how I'd be able to contain myself. I guess the only shocking part of this story to me is if you're Cain Velasquez, you're a legend in the UFC. Wouldn't you want to do this with your fucking bare hands? Because, I mean, just to inflict as much pain as possible, because a gunshot is too easy. Like that's too easy for one of these motherfuckers. Like, at that point, I would want to see Cain rip the guy's eyeballs out and then start systematically. Like, I bet he could tear his dick clean off his body.
Yeah, sure. He would dismantle the guy pretty easily.
No, but to pull a penis off a man's body.
Yeah, like in Sin City.
Yeah.
Where not Bruce Willis, who is it? It's,
I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years.
What's his name? What's the big dude's name? In Sin City.
Mickey Rourke?
Mickey Rourke, but what was it? Anyways, Mickey Rourke's character in Sin City grabs that fucking...
No, it was Bruce Willis's character. Who ripped the dick off of the yellow guy who rapes girls. That was Bruce Willis's character.
Cool.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Marv, that's it, yeah. So, I mean, it's... I guess it's, people talk about what they would and wouldn't do. Now we know what Cain Velasquez would do, but there's smarter ways to handle that situation.
And Ross, to answer what you were saying, is the initial confrontation happened at a bar, and there was one other person in the car. So I'm assuming there was 3 people at a bar. Cain approached. I'm not sure if he approached with his hands at first, and possibly the gun was just there for protection if they were armed as well. But it seems like they fled, and then he chased after them and then fired into the car.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's... the guy got arrested for sexually assaulting a kid or some shit like that. And you would, if you've never looked into this before, I highly recommend looking into it, how little jail time you incur from something like that. A teacher in here near Austin this weekend got arrested for all kinds of shit. He's facing 6 years in prison for touching multiple kids. 6 years.
Yeah.
You should be executed immediately for that shit. Cain Velasquez never should have been able to fucking see this guy in public because that guy immediately should have been murdered right out in the street. Or, I mean, let Cain do it himself.
Yeah.
Like in a safe environment or something like that if it's his kid. If one of my children were raped, I would kill everybody involved in that and anybody that got in my fucking way too.
Yeah.
So put me on this jury and I will vote innocent. Not guilty. Innocent.
So what do you think will happen with this? Because Cain Velasquez
It's in California.
is pretty high profile.
In the San Jose district, he's going to jail.
No shit.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're a bunch of liberal cunts out there. And they're the ones that have been supporting all this fucking pro-pedophilia bullshit over the last 10 years.
I don't know anything about San Jose, but I know about the DAs in California who've been going through that. So you think he'll really go to jail over this?
Yes, he's going to jail.
God damn it, man. And because the other thing, too, is you have to wait for this fucking trial. These trials take about 18 months because the court system is so backed up in California. This is going to be a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird to me that you can get out on without any bail for raping a kid, but the guy tried to avenge that. Well, he probably won't even get offered bail.
No.
To be honest.
No. There's no way he will. But the other guy's out. He's just fucking chilling today. Probably playing some Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a shame if something bad happened to him.